Hi, and welcome to this week's sneak peek into MemeKnights. I'm going to be showcasing the work in progress ally UI, as well as the surface normal for snapping objects to our player model. In the current scene that is up, it will be the sphere snapping to, the sphere will be acting as the player body, and the crown, which is one of our game objects we will have snapping, will be acting as the snap object for this preview. So if I was to go ahead and hit play here, it'll show you the crown. Basically what it's doing is raycasting from this pivot object here down to find the first object it hits and snapping to it. So like magic, it snaps to that point. You can kind of also see it down here in the game, just not as well. The way I am doing that is through this script here called crown surface normal. Basically, what it does is it is going to raycast straight down from the pivot object that we are setting up here. Just drag and drop basically, so it allows Caveman to pass in the object to the into the parent, subparent. But basically this hit point here is where the raycast hits, and this here tells it where to move. Basically just moves the pivot object to equal the hit point. And then also if it needs to, it will rotate it around. Usually this doesn't need to, depending on how we have it set up. But for the most part, this is all we really need. This is just in case stuff. And then down here, if Caveman wants, with the scriptural objects, he'll be able to take the player object part. He'll be able to basically send a parameter in when he calls this function in another script and tell it what the player object part is. So if we wanted to snap it and set it to the head, to the chest, it would snap to the chest instead. There's one little error Caveman pointed out today, I noticed, after he hooked it up into the game. It currently is snapping to the very first object it hits rather than the actual part it's supposed to be. So it right now is actually snapping to the capsule collider of our player instead of going down to the head, which I will be fixing after class on Wednesday. So that way we don't mess anything up we have currently built, so we don't want another fiasco like last week. So the next script I will be showing you will be the, I'll show you the allies first. So this is the ally menu that I am building currently. It's still a work in progress, it's not 100% done, but basically what happens is I click one, and it takes, because there's 6 buttons currently in the unused allies, it will separate them out evenly around the menu, and it'll go out to a certain distance that I tell it, which can be changed through the script. So if we decide to make the menu bigger, smaller, whatnot, we can do that. Currently I don't have it to where if you click these, they don't do anything. Next week I'll be making it to where whenever I click Caveman here, it would swap out the one I originally clicked. So if I click one, then click Caveman, it will switch these two in their place. This is all the front end stuff. I'm also handling the back end stuff as well, which I'll show you the script and what that's going to do momentarily. But the way the script is running currently is it is this guy here. So this is a list, and it finds fills the list just by finding the child of all allies. So it looks at find child all allies, and then any component in that's a button, it will add to the list. This is just the easiest way I could do it. Because the all allies is actually not a button, it doesn't add that to the list, so instead it just gets all the children out of it that are buttons, making it to where I don't have to do an exclude the all allies, because it's not a button, it's not going to find it. And then this gets the position of the buttons, and then this makes it to their pivot point is set to 0.5, 0.5 if for some reason it got changed, which currently nothing changes it, but if for some reason it got changed, it would reset it on void start. So this here changes the color to white, which is for making so the button is going to be white, which basically makes it the regular color that we design. So if you put black, it actually tints it black and stuff like that. So this is just to make it to where the picture or the image is going to be the way we want it for the button. It also changes the alpha to 0, which hides the button. And then this turns it off. The reason we're setting the alpha to 0 and turning it off is for later in the script I will show you. But there is a reason, so it's not because I'm just trying to hide the button. I don't know if this is working, it's just I need to hide this currently. And also, it sets them to 0, 0 right here. So this here is how it decides where all of the buttons are going to go. Just takes how many buttons are in the list and then divides it by 360. And then times it by this doohickey right here, which is degree to radians conversion. So it's able to do the radius of, or it's able to take the degrees that it comes out with and I guess convert it to the radius that it needs to be spread around the circle. And then whenever the boolean setup here is turned to open, it will run this, which gets the location the buttons are supposed to move to and stores them. Otherwise, it just runs this, which basically is hiding the button and setting to 0, 0 again. And then once this part here runs, this one here is for like when I'm hitting the button to close it. This is basically just turning to false and setting everything back. And this one is for when I open it the first time. And they both shoot off this coroutine, which then runs this script, which is actually what moves the buttons. So this here is just getting at the component image so I can later change. Whoops. Oopsies, almost broke something. So this here is what changes the alpha to 1 when it's open. So that way, whenever you click the button, it's going to go from no alpha to 1 alpha at alert speed, so that it looks like it's fading in as it's going there. So to give the player the illusion it's fading in, makes the menu look a little bit nicer. And it's not like it's just appearing out of nowhere when it gets to the spot. This fixed delta time is here because delta time was messing up. Whenever you'd use different computers, it would give you different calculations because of how many frames each computer was getting, or even if your computer was just changing. So I put it to fixed delta time, so it's always running at the same amount of time every time. So it fixed a problem we were having where every time you'd open and close the menu, it'd go to a different location, just because the computer you're on. And some was more than others. Like at my house, it was sending it off like a ridiculous amount of distance more than it was at the school. So it's just it's just an easy fix that I could think of. And then, let's see, oh yeah, here just sets everything back to equal to transform and turn it off, which basically sets it back to 0, turns it off. And the alpha is set here back to 0 in the else statement. So that is those two scripts. And then the final script is ally interface. This is what I was talking about, the backend stuff that I'm handling for the allies. Basically, Caven's going to send me these two lists. I'm just using placeholders for now, which are going to come from the scriptable objects. And it will send me in a string basically that tells us the allies. And what I'm going to be doing is swapping them. So whenever I click Cademan, it would swap the one that was in my allies to all allies once I click the Cademan button. So it basically just does a flop. Switch their list. So that way the my allies don't show up in the all allies list and vice versa. That way it allows the Cademan to not have to worry about it, and it's just done in this little script. And then this does the opposite, just removes the ally. So he just calls the parameters or whatever we do. It'll probably be decided later. Yep, that is the only scripts that I've written for this week, which is 3. And then I also did all the UI work for the ally, and got a lot of input from Jake on how he wanted it. And then also a lot of input from Cademan on the crown, which isn't 100% done yet, but should be done hopefully by tomorrow. Hopefully by the time you see this video or after. So, yep, that is the 3 scripts I have for this week. And that will be all I am showing for this week. Sneak peek into MemeKnights. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to follow us at MemeKnightsGameDev.tumblr.com. Or if you want to watch me stream some of the work I am doing on the project, you can follow me at twitch.tv/primalfears. Both will be linked in the video description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for another sneak peek at MemeKnights. Thanks for coming.